harder for our brains to spin into the future and become anxious if we are intentionally staying present and grounded and centered.
Especially if they're feeling like a lack of confidence. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this, or this is really hard. So I like to have a power song.
What do you do to help kind of regain your sense of control or take back your power when you're not feeling very empowered?
Hey everyone, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Robin Innes, a licensed social worker in the state of Colorado, and I'm here with my co-host Beth Gustin, a licensed professional counselor, also in Colorado. First of all, I want to wish you all a happy spring. I think we are, almost a couple of weeks into the hour change. So I hope you all are adjusting to that. We thought that we would talk to you today about the unknown, especially with everything going on right now in society. There is a lot of unpredictability, and that can be unsettling. That can be scary, anxiety provoking, depressing. Those are all the feelings that I've heard my clients say. And myself, I've faced some anxiety in regards to the unknown. So we're going to talk about how to cope with it and the reason behind people having those feelings. So it'll be a dialogue that we always invite you to chime in if you have anything to say or any suggestions that you yourself use to cope with the not knowing.
Yeah, so I think we discussed this topic before, but I feel like it's still very relevant as most of my clients and I are having similar discussions about the unknown and how to navigate what you can't really prepare for because you don't know how it's going to be. And I think it's normal to have some level of anxiety, especially when we're living in some very uncertain times. I think it's more about what you do with that anxiety and what you do to kind of help yourself stay moving in the direction you want to move in, and also finding ways to not dwell on what you really can't control or don't have enough information to make a choice about.
Right. And you mentioned a good comment is that we had talked about this topic before. And so that shows that it's very relevant no matter what time period we're in. There's going to be some influx that will cause you to feel a certain way. So really try to build up your toolkit of coping strategies to help you navigate situations, knowing that they are going to arise periodically throughout time.
I think these times are also really good for helping us practice mindfulness and redirecting and all those skills that we talk about a lot, at least I do with my clients, as far as, okay, how do you kind of rein your brain back in so it doesn't go spinning off in some random direction and you can't reel it back? Mm-hmm. And so I think about if we can stay mindful, if we can practice, using, I kind of go back to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 4, 3, 2, 1, just noticing what's around you with all your senses. That keeps you more present. And it's harder for our brains to spin into the future and become anxious if we are intentionally staying present and grounded and centered.
I agree. And I believe that mindfulness really is relevant with this topic because I feel like, at least for my clients, a lot of them feel anxious or fearful about these uncertain times due to a lot being from trauma or their past experiences where it's bringing up triggers again to where they didn't have control in their past. And so one way to feel like they're having stable ground is to control their current circumstances. But if they're unable to do that, it can be very unsettling. So I agree. I do a lot of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with my clients to help them feel more grounded in the present and where they are. A lot of them are in their homes. So their home is their sense of safety. So it's creating a sense of safety for yourself. Another technique that I like to use is, what is your safe place? If you're not at home, or even if you are at home, kind of having like an escape. So I like the beach. So I'm able to think about the sound of the water, the texture of the sand on my feet, the hotness of the sand, whatever it may be, to help me transport me to a time to where it centers me and helps me feel calm, right? Because that's what I have control over. I have control over, in that moment, my thoughts. And it may not seem like you have control over your thoughts, right? But those techniques like mindfulness will help you regain that control again if you feel like it's lost.
They do. And I think it's also important, if you cannot control your thoughts initially, take a step back and control other things like what time you wake up in the morning, what you choose to wear, what you choose to eat if you eat breakfast in the morning. Those kind of basic things, we can start gaining some sense of control by controlling those things. And then when we do that, we actually feel calmer. And if we feel calmer, we can then begin to work on controlling our thoughts and making sure that they are staying neutral to positive.
Right. Going off of that too, as you were talking about, it made me think about one of my other favorite techniques that we were taught as counselors is to help us wash off the day, wash off the negativity or whatever we may have encountered. So you can do that when you're taking a shower in the morning. Those thoughts of worry, pretending that it's water going down the drain. So just as easily as it's going off of your skin into the drain, really focus those thoughts and having them disappear and discard that way.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll wash my hands between work and home, to kind of separate myself from work and home, especially if I work from home. It's a great way to serve multiple purposes, I think. So I really recommend, if you find that helpful, try it, because it does help you wash things away, and they do go down the drain and they're gone.
Yep. And you mentioned it, Beth. If you're not able to take a shower, washing your hands, right? It's being creative like that. So yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that too, Beth. It's one of my favorite techniques too. So I think that, just like you said earlier, it's trying to think about what we do have control over. And it's taking it one moment at a time. There are going to be some hard days where some of these techniques may be more challenging, but they're not impossible. And so I think that sometimes the anxiety can cause us to think, oh, that's so impossible right now. I can't do those strategies. They're not going to help. And some days, maybe some strategies may not help, but that's where you have to play around and figure out which one will help. But eventually one will be able to help you move from one moment to one moment, one day to one day, and so on.
This is also where I think music can be really helpful. Just listening to music can help change our mood. It can help us pass the time. It can give us something else to focus on. And you can use mindfulness with listening to music. You can pick out the different instruments, or depending on if you have a good ear, you can pick out chord progressions or whatever it is. Or if you don't like music, find some other activity or hobby that you can engage in to help yourself pass time, be distracted, and not think about whatever's making you anxious. Because in time, our mood will change.
Yep, I agree. I want to go back to music though, because I do like that one. And I've been talking about music for the past couple of weeks with my clients, especially if they're feeling like a lack of confidence. And even in terms of the unknown, right? There can be a lack of confidence of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this, or this is really hard. So I like to have a power song. And Beth, I'm going to put you on the spot in a minute to see what your power song is. But my power song it's older. It came out a while ago, but it's by Andra Day, I Will Rise Up. I still really love that song because it's true. Whatever obstacle that I face, even if it's hard in the moment, I will rise up. I'll make it through. It may not seem like it in the moment, but ultimately, just like in the past, each and every one of you can think about a circumstance in the past where you've made it through. And so that can offer yourself some hope. So I encourage you all to think of a power song that you can listen to on a regular basis to help motivate you.
This is a hard question because I like all genres of music, and I've actually gone so far as to make like a power song playlist.
Ooh,
so I have a few of them in a row, and I can just turn that on and feel better. But two that come to mind are older as well. I think they're older. Rachel Platen's Fight Song.
Yep.
And then Katy Perry's You're Gonna Hear Me Roar.
I love both of those. Yeah.
I just forgot the name of the song, but yeah, that one. Roar.
Yeah, that's one of my power songs too. Yeah, and the fight song, like you said.
There's so many out there, and I think every genre has them. And so I think it is just listen to lyrics. Lyrics can help us convey so much emotion and give us a voice if we can't find ours. And I think it really can lift us up and empower us.
Yeah, it makes us feel less alone too. Like, oh, wow, they really get what I'm going through. And that's what I've talked about with some of my clients too. So that level of empathy and understanding through lyrics. Yeah, let's take it further. So a power song, but then also too, and this could be a good distraction technique, is making a power playlist. Like you said, Beth, I think that could be a good distraction technique too. That can help people step outside of their fear for a bit.
There's a really neat one that's almost more meditative or mantra-like, and the artist is Lee Harris, and I Take Back My Power. I like that one too because it's, like I said, it's very repetitive and it's very peaceful to me, but it's also very strong. Mm-hmm. And I think there can be strength in mantras and affirmations and things like that that can help us regain a sense of, I've got this, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And so going off of affirmations and mantras, so even however you choose to do it, if you have eyesight, putting affirmation or a mantra somewhere where you can look at it every morning, or having it pop up on your phone at a certain day or time, again, for that reminder can be helpful. So, well, Beth, is there anything else that you want to mention in regards to the unknown?
There used to be a really neat app called Think Up, and unfortunately, when I tried it, it wasn't fully accessible. But what I liked about it, if you can use it, if it's still around, is that you could record your own voice saying affirmations. Then you'll play them back in your own voice, like at night when you sleep, if that's helpful to you, or have them scheduled to play at a certain time. And if you couldn't think of any affirmations, it gave you categories with examples you could choose from. So it was really helpful in brainstorming what you could say to help yourself. But
is it free?
It was at the time, yes.
Okay. I like that. That's a good suggestion.
But it wasn't voiceover friendly. So,
okay.
Not entirely.
Whether you have Android or Apple, if you go to the App Store and search under affirmations or motivation, seeing what comes up. If you use assistive technology, maybe doing a Google search before you look in the App Store. I know AppVis has some app suggestions that may be voiceover friendly. It'll take a little bit of digging, but again, that could be something fun, right? To give you a bit of a distraction, that worry that you're feeling.
So what helps you? What affirmations do you use? What songs? What's your power song if you're comfortable sharing? I personally like to find new music I've not heard before, and so I'm always looking for good music recommendations. And yeah, I'd love to hear from the community. What do you do to help kind of regain your sense of control or take back your power when you're not feeling very empowered?
I'm always interested in music and affirmations and like that. So yeah, I reiterate what Beth said. As always, we want to hear from you. So you can either reach us through phone, email, through social media, whatever is your preference. We do receive your feedback and your comments and we enjoy it. So yeah, please reach out. And until next time, take care.
As always, stay grounded and take care.
Oh yeah, Wellness Wednesday with Beth and Robin. Gonna settle it down. Oh yeah, get your feet planted on the ground.
For more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to leave us some feedback, give us a call at 612-367-6093. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
Wellness and taking care of ourselves. It's all about you and taking care of yourself. Oh yeah.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the reality
of blind abilities.
and the realities of blind abilities.